So I think that early on there was this huge fear of old people. And one thing, for example, I think it's okay now, but before Elon Musk took over Twitter, you couldn't say, is the life of a 5-year-old different from the life of an 85-year-old? As you said, a 9 or a 90-year-old. Economists and medical professions have been using years of life lost for a very long time. And essentially there, if somebody dies over the age of expected death, you don't count it. But of course, it's a dear grandfather, it's a dear grandmother. You need to be respectable. But, at the age of 75, if I wanted a new heart, if they gave me one, I would say that's disgraceful. How can you do that? Because it should go to a younger person. I mean, a 5-year-old needs to get their 85 years before the 95-year-old gets anything. But it wasn't like this. And now I think it's the case, if you actually do normalize so this is the tweet I'm about to write, or going to write. If you want to get a very big picture, instead of asking for the excess death per year, let's take a country has a certain amount of life in it. And the amount of life is the number of people times the average age of life expectancy. How many lives he left? So let's just say in a typical country, it might be the British population times 40, half the age expectancy. But you can actually do the calculation properly and calculate how many years of life are there. And then you can ask how many years of life were lost by COVID. And in the country where it was worst, which was the United States, it's 1/2000th. Let's just say 1,000th. So the total amount of extra life lost from COVID was 1,000th of the amount of life in the country. Okay? Now, that might seem like a lot. It turns out 1,000th is a grain of rice from a serving. It's a drop of water, a small drop of water from a drink. If you made a pole 10 meters tall and it was 1 millimeter less, you'd need a really accurate laser to see that. Now, you could ask, okay, well, what did all that cost? Now, we take the world and we ask, how much did the national debt of the world increase in the last 3 years? And it increased by something like, the national debt right now is $300 trillion. A lot of money. The US national debt increased by something like $5 or $6 trillion. The world national debt probably increased by $30 trillion. So for the saving, potential to avoid the loss of 1,000th, we increased the debt load on the children. Because what is national debt? It's borrowing against the future. By 10 times. In the United States, probably by more than 10 times. That's incredible. I mean, that really is so unfair.